Greetings. We're here in the Sheldon National Wildlife Refuge at the mouth of Thousand Creek Gorge. One of the most magnificent things you can see out here with relative ease. Just down this really mellow, flat desert road, about a mile and a half stroll, takes you to this incredible rocky sheer canyon. And it'll catch your eye when you're first coming in to the refuge. You'll say, what is that big crack in the ground over there? This is it. I haven't even really gotten to walk up into it yet. Just sort of stopped here in awe going, I can't believe this is amazing. It's a very smoky day. Late August, wildfires all over the west. But this huge slot in the ground, it's got to be hundreds of feet deep. Absolutely huge. And I think I'm definitely going to adventure up into there some. Oh, wow. This is quite the impressive thing. And the Sheldon Refuge is quite the impressive thing itself. It's hundreds of square miles of incredible desert landscapes. Oh my goodness. Rock formations, open landscapes, sweeping vistas. Today, not so much, it's a little smoky. Of course, wildlife viewing. This is sort of looking southwest into the refuge. You can see it's a very smoky day. You can't see a whole lot. That's why it's better to go for the up-close stuff. No vistas. Let's just see it up close and personal. This, holy cow. I can't wait to see what's up there. And apparently there's a viewpoint that you can sort of drive to down the canyon a ways and look down into it from above. That would be equally impressive, but there's so much to explore and see. It's just amazing. There's little caves just right here. There's little caves to look at. This is really, really amazing. Well, I think I'm going to have to adventure down into here some, and we'll see what we can find. I just came around this corner. Look at that vertical spire. Look at these vertical walls. Holy cow. It's mind-blowing. Still on a little trail, as you can see. We got a little trail to follow still. That is just, holy cow. Huge vertical. And all these little caves everywhere. All these little itty bitty caves and nooks and crannies. I'm gonna go ahead and explore this little cave here. Whoa, I wonder how far back it goes. Or who might be calling it home. Anybody in there? If anybody comes bursting out, I guess I'll know real quick. Well, I see a lot of sage sticks that ended up in here. Looks like that's the end of it. I wonder why there's all these branches in here. I was kind of hoping to see with some evidence of habitation. Mainly, you look for like a soot stain, but I don't know about you, I'm not seeing a soot stain. And doesn't look like there's a whole lot of activity here. I don't see any rock art. That would be awesome to come across. Interesting rock it's made out of. Wow, this is a heck of a little place. If you wanted to camp out or something, this wouldn't be terrible. It'd be cooler back in the cave, that's for sure. And the scenery is absolutely unbeatable. Look at the view out the front. It's this huge rim of the canyon. Wow. Huh. Well, there you go. There's caves, cliffs, huge rocks to scamper around on. This is quite a little center of adventure, this gorge. Down here, a little closer to the canyon floor. Get to walk past these really fascinating rock formations. You can see how it's almost like a conglomeration of little tiny bits. Wow. This is just a mind-blowing place. I've never been in a place like this personally. I mean, it's just vertical. Several hundred feet deep. And I keep looking up ahead every corner I come around, and it's just more of this. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is just a magnificent, magnificent scene. But this just goes straight up. Straight up. This is a mind-blowing and incredible place. I didn't want to even hike this far into it just because I'm not that good of a shape for hiking these days, but these scenes and these sights are just compelling me forward, and the fact that there's an easy little trail with other footprints telling me that this is the way to go. Look at these boulders. Look at these. Now there's this sort of dark colored rock that's coming out of whatever this whole collapse is. This is just, I mean, it goes up, straight up. This is beyond words for me. I'm running out of superlatives to describe how incredible this place is. And even just like all along this little bottom, easy little trail. And the awesome thing is, I'm looking at water right now. So we may be in the northwestern Nevada desert, but there be water. Let's keep going. Follow that trail. Getting about to the point where I feel like I need to stop down and take a breather, consider whether I want to continue. It's been in this sort of slot-like state, and it looks like it continues on for miles, and it's been pretty much the same thing behind me for quite some time, and it's kind of starting to look the same. Not that it's unimpressive, but I don't know if there's anything new necessarily to see other than some variation. This is, there's so much to see in just the little maybe mile or mile and a half here that I've traversed. A big huge flock of pigeons flying off from over there. Here they come. That's the only sound I've been able to hear. At first I thought it was a car rushing by or something because the highway is off that way, but there's a bigger bird, watch out. Well, I think this is about as far as I'm gonna go. And as you can see, it just continues winding on. It almost looks like it gets more narrow. Whew, I am winded, but it was worth it. Just climbed up on this big gigantic rock here. Looking on up the canyon here. That's where we came from, and where we're gonna have to go back. A good mile, mile and a half. But you may almost be able to make out the trails down here. Yeah, up there. And down along, it looks like if you really wanted to, you could continue on down into the who knows what's down there. I can see this huge slab here laying like this, and then right here another big old slab laying there. Can't imagine what that was like when it fell. You can see this whole big slice here, if that were to go. But what I'm standing on is actually something that did go. You can see, look at the swirl patterns. Those are so cool. But I'm not even going to lean over. I'm just going to hold my arm out. We're vertical. Snaky has definitely helped me out here. But we're on top of this big giant rock here that just fell off of somewhere off of this wall. You can see these are separating off. It's just amazing. If You look down, you can see down there another big slab laying. Crevices and cracks that go all the way up. Look at this crack that runs all the way up. Wonder if that whole thing is gonna come off eventually someday. This is just such an incredible place. This is these escarpments hanging over you. Amazing stuff. Now, coming out here, be prepared to essentially be off trail. Yes, there's sort of a trail, but it's more like a sort of a footpath that other people have followed before and worn it in a bit. Oh, I gotta crouch down a bit. Whew, that's quite the journey. Be ready for some, not just rock hopping, but boulder hopping, rock climbing, very unstable terrain, and be very specifically warned, you're completely on your own out here. You're taking your life into your hands. If something goes wrong, there is no one to help you. There's no cell service. So don't rely on the creek for water. Bring plenty of your own. Bring plenty of food, even though there's probably some things to forage on down here. It's mostly just greens. It's not going to necessarily sustain you for weeks and weeks. But if you're not ready for really rough terrain in sandals or barefoot, like yours truly, bring some very sturdy boots. This is gnarly, rocky terrain. There's no one that's going to come along and just wander along the trail and help. There may be other footprints on the trail, but that could have been a month ago. You know, it hasn't rained at all in a long time. We're in a drought, which just makes this water all the more precious. This beautiful little reflecting pool down here. So be ready for a serious, hardcore desert adventure, even if that's not what happens. I hate to have to say it over and over, but if you're not ready to be completely on your own and survive on your own in a location like this, you probably should not come out here. It's very, very dangerous. It's very, very hazardous. It's very, very risky, but it's also very, very beautiful and stunning. Well, we're here, finally exiting the canyon, but I think the trail's on that side, and I'm on the wrong side now, and that's kind of bad, because that means I have this giant rock hop here. So I either try to swim across essentially, or go way back down to where there was a shallow spot, or I rock hop it. And I'm just gonna have to rock hop it. It looks like there might be kind of a trail down here, but this is kind of part of the game of getting around out here. Now, do I dare, or should I? There. If I go up there, I can get a viewpoint. Oh, that looks terrible. What's the call? I think it's going to be equally hard going either way. I'd like to know what this looks like from above, so I guess here goes nothing. Well, we made it up to the top of the canyon. It's been a heck of a journey and an adventure. Getting up here above Thousand Creek Gorge after adventuring down in it all the way down around those bends. That distant wall being lit up, we are all the way over there. Doesn't seem like all that far really, but it felt like a long way. It's a bit of a tough go from time to time, even though there is just about make out a little bit of a trail, and the trail seems to wind quite a ways. And for a good part of the ways, there seems to be almost two trails, one on each side. And I saw other footsteps before mine, as I said before. I finally just stopped off here for a quick respite at the top, now that I've finally achieved the summit up here, the top, got the view down in. You can actually see out across the refuge now. That's lovely. It's awfully smoky, so you'd be able to see a big mountain out there. Wildfires, it's August, what are you going to do? It was a little less smoky this morning, which I appreciated, but it's a really, really neat geological area. There's, you know, bits of jasper. Oh yeah, like this right here. This little cool kind of pocket. Like, wow, that's pretty, or is that an opal? I'm not sure which. I don't know my minerals or my precious minerals all that well, but there's little variations like that all over the place. It's pretty cool. You can see down in there, and I'm not sure if I should necessarily, whoops, try to climb down in there, but because I don't know if I can climb back out, but that's pretty cool. You can just about see the canyon floor through there. That's neat. But if you're gonna come up this way, it's pretty darn vertical and treacherous, so be very, very careful. Oh, even standing here, it's pretty steep. You can see that's the edge over there, where I just was, right there. One or two steps and you're done. So you gotta be real careful. Watch for snakes, shifty rocks, sharp rocks. But it's definitely worth the journey. It's worth the pain. It's been worth the sweat and the toil to get up here. This is just such an incredibly cool and seemingly undiscovered area. You think that a place like this, there'd be climbers all up and down these walls and people camped out all up and down the creek. No, I haven't seen anybody all day. It's just been me and the vistas. And, as always, ants.